We're back. Another exciting week of the live show. I'm Zach. This is Cyrus. Look at this pretty. Hold on. Look at this pretty little thing, huh? Got a little Beginner Bourbon in there.
Yeah.
One of the still in the clear kits. Very popular one, I might add.
Yes. And easy.
It is very easy.
It's not a
no conversions.
Not a conversion kit. No sound on the intro again. Dang. Must just be that file, right?
It might be, but I heard it.
Just
You heard it?
Maybe it's a me problem.
Okay.
Watching
It might be a me
screen right
problem.
now. What is everybody doing? 22 of y'all in here early on into the show. A few over on Facebook, a few on the other YouTube channel, and probably a couple handful. I got another one of those TikTok violations this week. Restriction.
Uh-huh.
Don't know what that's about. Anywho, that's kind of par for the course.
Well, it's a beautiful thing. It's running. These little stills are so easy to run.
Super simple, super easy.
Yeah.
Real pretty, too.
No complexity to them at all. The biggest thing is just getting the pump dialed in so that you're not overflowing the little
water pump.
condenser.
The water pump that we have is the smaller one that we use when we're running a kind of a smaller type still, and I don't know. I think it was just real finicky today.
Very finicky.
We had some spillage in here. You guys missed that. Wish I could have got it on video for you. Probably would have threw it in the intro. It was water all
And
over
we
the
may
nibbler.
still end up with some, because I'm not sure I've got it dialed all the way in yet anyway.
Yeah, it could happen again very easily.
We've got a few announcements.
Yeah.
A couple of announcements.
Yeah.
A couple of really cool announcements.
Yeah.
What do we want to start with? Good. So we mentioned the Shine On Festival last week.
Yes.
Did we mention our benefit, our charity that gets 25%?
I don't know if we did or not, but I'll mention it again.
Yeah.
Grace's Toy Closet. It's a local charity here that supports children that are undergoing cancer treatment in various ways. One of the main ways is providing toy closets to hospitals, like the local children's hospitals that we have here. And she does some pretty amazing work. She's got a really cool story and how she started the charity, and very, very sad beginnings. But, I think her and her husband are just kind of trying to turn the best out of a bad situation, losing a child, and helping other kids out. So pretty excited to be working with them.
Yeah, I think it's really cool that, children who are fighting this fight, they got to go to the hospital all the time.
Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah.
And every time they go, they get to get a toy, which is, the hospitals don't supply that. And, her and her foundation does it. And they have wish lists. And so without breaking HIPAA rules, she's able to find out a little bit about these kids, the kind of stuff they like and what they would want. And she has like lists on Amazon where you can go and pick out buy a specific gift for a specific child, And I think that's really cool.
And they buy nice stuff too. Like they try to buy specifically what a child asks for.
Right. Yeah.
They don't just kind of go to Dollar General and get a bunch of, kind of rinky-dink toys. They try to get them some nice stuff. So,
yeah.
Her and her husband are awesome. When we were meeting with charities and talking to different folks and getting information, we met with them and pretty instant.
Yeah.
It was I think we should do this.
Yeah.
They're cool folks, and we're glad to support them. 25% of all of the alcohol sales that happen at Shine On Festival will go to Grace and Grace's Toy Closet, and they'll be able to take donations here day of, and we're happy for them. I hope we raise them a whole bunch of money.
Yeah.
What else we got?
What else do we have? There was something. Oh. So within, 2 or 3 weeks, probably, you will be able to get heirloom corn from Still in the Clear, which is a big deal. I've been trying to get my hands on a distribution for that kind of corn for a while. We finally worked that out. So Still in the Clear will be carrying the Jimmy Red, the Bloody Butcher, the blue corn, the Hickory King Whites, and all of that. And pretty excited about that. It's not quite done. It's not a done deal yet, but yeah, within a couple of weeks, I suspect. So we're pretty excited about that.
Got a bunch of stuff to take pictures of and add to the website, so it'll take us a little time to get it up and going for you folks. You'll be able to order it in 10-pound quantities, as many 10-pound bags as you want, and I'm kind of excited to start getting it in and messing with it myself, and adding it to some ashes, and maybe, man, it'd be cool to do an heirloom kit.
Right, absolutely. Ooh, and then if you're local, you'll be able to come in the store. We'll sell it 50-pound bags in the store. But pretty excited about that. Now, I'm going to say on the giveaways, we're not doing giveaways this week, and the reason I'm so far behind on my shipping right now.
We got a bunch of orders we got to get out.
It's stupid. Like, we've had a number of what do they call that? A series of tragedies. Like, everything that could go wrong goes wrong, and like, we're just behind on our shipping. So
stuff not showing up when it's supposed to, and just
the printer breaking.
The printer's broken, and just it was a very unfortunate week of small incremental cutbacks.
But if you guys want to play the guessing game, we can actually absolutely do the guessing game. And this is the first jar here. Obviously, we took forever to get all set up today, so we're real behind on getting the run going. Actually, this is jar number 1. So if you guys want to guess, jump on it.
Been neglecting the chat. Flatland, Backwoods, Roman, 252. Richard, Windsong. Windsong wants some bubbles, man.
The bubbles.
Let me get the bubbles.
Our free thinker, Charlene's in the house. That Charlene and Richard are both in the house, or is Richard on Charlene's account?
I saw Bennett in here earlier being a scoundrel. What's up, buddy? If you're still in.
252. Is that a new name in the chat, or have we seen that one before?
I think that might be new.
252, maybe, yeah.
Welcome to the live stream, 252. There's the bubbles.
Yow, there they are. There they aren't.
And this is just the first run of the Beginner Bourbon kit from Still in the Clear.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's that Daniel Stevens guy.
There's that Daniel Stevens. Well, look at that picture. He's... All right.
Well, that thing is we're kind of heaving and hoeing over here a little bit.
There's it seems like there was another announcement. Oh yeah. So the Still in the Clear YouTube channel now has channel subscriptions, so that we can have our own special community emojis and badges, stuff like that. I finally got all that figured out and got all that loaded up there. So if you're interested in joining the YouTube channel subscription, there's probably a button below the video or near the video or something like that. There's 2 tiers. There's tier number 1, which is you get the custom emojis, which we have a depends emoji. We have an Uncle Si emoji. We have
It's feeding the fire here.
yeah, we have a just a regular old mason jar emoji. And then I think there was one more. I don't remember what it was, but I'll be adding more emojis. YouTube limits you on how many custom emojis you can have based on how many members you have. And so as the membership rises, I will add more emojis. And then there's a level 2 subscription, which is going to include exclusive content where I'm going to do a little short video every morning. It's going to be kind of a behind the scenes video of what we got going on that day, what kind of damn troubles we're having that day, like whatever's going on the day. And then also
it's going to be like a diary we can vent to, maybe work through some issues.
Right. We'll call it morning couch sessions.
Yeah.
And then and also I'll be taking periodic polls with the community members just to, what kind of stuff do you want to see? So you'll get a chance to kind of guide the direction of the channel with us.
Yeah.
So I think that'll be a lot of fun. I think that'll be some exciting engagement between us and the viewers of the channel. So pretty excited about that.
It'll be a good line too for those of you that kind of pretty consistently watch all of our stuff. You can drive the content a little bit, and we can see what do you want to see more of. What should we do next? So kind of nice being able to involve them in that way. What else? Oh, extremely happy to announce the partnership with Sugarland's Distillery for the Shine On Moonshine Festival.
Yeah, they're going to be out here.
They're going to be out here. The fine folks at Sugarland are going to be serving all different kinds of post-flavored and non-post-flavored moonshine. And so excited to have them out here. And they've got they got so many of them now. There's tons of different stuff to try.
Even know.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many. So it's cool that they're going to be out here. Looking forward to having them and having a few beverages that I'm gonna have to take it easy, but but later in the night,
Yeah.
I would have a good time.
Talking about the other night, we were talking about after party. Might set something up like that for after the Shine On Festival.
I turned that heat down, and it's just not affecting that spitting at all.
Oh no, this.
It's good. I don't know why it's burping out of there like that. I got the heat down.
Yeah, the heat is down low.
Can I bring my dog with me?
Yes, you can.
Yes.
If it's behaved. I mean,
do whatever you think you can handle, brother.
Like I can't bring my dogs. They don't know how to behave. So
Yeah.
I wouldn't bring them.
Are they sending Mark and Digger? All that is yet to be determined. Once we have a better list of who all is going to be out here, like I don't want, all the popular names that I think that we'll put that out on the website once we kind of confirm with them who's wanting to come and who's available to come. I think that a lot of those guys are pretty busy, filming, your Bennett's, they're tied up.
They're just too busy.
They're tied up. They're Hollywood, No, I'm just kidding. But I think once we see exactly who all can make it, we'll kind of release a list of who all is going to be here and inside the VIP tent and out and about around the festival.
Yeah. So Joe, you subscribe to the channel. There should be a button somewhere below the video, like down in the description or something that says join. That's where it is.
Also wanted to give a really big thank you to Joe Parks. Sent me, not us, me, a Mary's Wine recipe book. That was super sweet. I dug through it already. It already helped a customer out that was wanting a good banana wine recipe, and I was like, I don't really do banana that much, but they flipped real quick to a banana.
Be aware that there's a tripod leg right there.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Thank you. Bennett, please check your calendar, brother. There's a lot there. Wait, I can't tell you how many DMs I've got over the last couple of weeks since we really started talking about this festival. They're like, well, will Bennett be there?
Yeah, I know.
Going to be around? Is Bennett's wife going to be there?
Right.
It's like,
is Peaches coming?
Yeah. Where's Peaches at? It's mainly been asking about her, really.
Yeah.
Which I thought, I didn't think anything of it. I get it.
It's October 4th, Bennett.
Did we ever tell them the proof?
Oh, it was 132. I think we did not tell them.
Let me go back up, get the bragging rights.
See who gets bragging rights on that jar.
Okay. 97.
Iowa Free Thinker, that's awesome. We'll see you. See you when you show up.
Thinker had a 143. 138. Daniel Stevens. Daniel Stevens, 138 is the closest. So.
But he also went over.
Yeah.
And,
we'll just circle back to this one.
Yeah, closest without going over was Roman on TikTok. I think he had like 98.
252 said, first time here, what y'all sipping on? I've got a homegrown bourbon tequila hybrid I'm sipping on. Man, right now it's Bush lattes, but there's other stuff in the work. Ooh, also, side announcement, got a pretty bitchin' retired bourbon barrel today from a distillery that's moving in down the street from us, Axe and Oak Distillery.
Shout out.
Dude was also nice enough to bring us by a bottle of Pikes Peak Hillshine. It is aged in Scotch barrels. It's finished in a Scotch barrel. So,
oh yeah,
can't ever figure out how to.
There you go.
Pretty cool. So excited to try that later. What a cool dude. I went over there earlier and he was showing me around, and I was like, he's got hundreds of barrels in there. And I was like, we got to get a barrel and start doing the whole infinity barrel thing and, just have a little fun with that. And he was like, oh, well, I normally get this for him, but here, just have one. And he just gave us a dang whiskey barrel. So what a cool dude.
We're also bottling some beer. Kind of a first run of an experimental recipe that we think is going to turn out pretty nice. We'll be bottling that here in a minute. It's just a gallon. We're calling it the Homebrew American Light beer.
About 4.5%. Tried it before we carbonated it, and if it's half as good as it was flat when it is carbonated, I'll be pretty dang stoked about it. Really. We're not really ever making any beer. And again, this could be like the beginners, like, hey, here you go.
That's what we're shooting for.
It's fantastic. Yeah. And then like the next 3 batches after that, we're going to be like, oh,
yeah,
shit, a little sour. Was this supposed to be sour?
Yeah. Well, we'll find out, won't we? But we're trying to work out a little 1-gallon kit for people when they come into the shop. They've never made beer. They want to try some. We want to have something on the shelf that is like a kit. Here you go. This one's easy. Doesn't taste bad. Give it a shot.
Also, I feel like it's going to be very slammable, very like going to go down very easy,
Yeah.
Which is really what I'm looking for in a good light beer. Now, I can appreciate the porters, the stouts, the IPAs, the red ales, the Kolsch's. I like them all, man. I don't know if you guys know. I like them all.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's very, very, very hard to beat a nice light beer that goes down just extra smooth.
Yeah. And it's darker than you would expect an American light beer to be, but that's just because we used a Pilsen grain with a 20L darkness. It's the only reason it's as dark as it is. It looks like it might be an L, but it's not an L.
Yeah, it's got a good dark flavor. You guys can be the judge of that for yourselves here in a minute when you see it. We'll probably just bottle it right here, won't we?
Yeah.
Cool. Super stoked
Like
about
that
that.
jar's getting a little full.
Oh, good call. Why is it kind of intermittently? What do you think that is? If you had to, what do you reckon that?
These little alembics kind of do that. I don't ever worry about it. That dadgum pump is going too fast again. It's about to overflow the coil condenser.
What do you think? Just kind of acting up a little bit, that pump.
I just don't think it adjusts well.
Can't wait to try
See if
some of
that
this
makes any difference.
bourbon later. I bet it's pretty good.
Same.
We'll see how that goes. So what are all you guys sipping on tonight? I wonder if Joe is sipping on some breakfast bourbon.
Oh, I hope
it
she
seems
is.
like last
I'd like to
week,
imagine
that's what
she
she's
is.
sipping
She's
on.
cuddled up next to a fire, got us up on the iPad, the TV, the what have you, having a
Yeah.
little bourbon. That's how I like to imagine my Joe.
Right.
I like to imagine my Joe kind of partying a little bit, you know? Maybe going down to the local bar, getting tossed out, you know? I like my Joe to say, like, hey, I'm here, but I like to have fun, you know?
I like my Joe to be kind of like that teacher you like so much in school.
Yeah.
You know, your favorite one.
Yeah.
That's kind of like my Joe.
Just real nice to you, good team, yeah.
Didn't turn you in for smoking behind the police.
Yeah, caught you smoking, just kind of made sure you saw she saw, and then just kept on going.
That's right.
Let's use this junk mail here. Jar
Oh,
number
little
2.
protector.
Got do you hear reverb on me or who?
It's probably me. We have a hard time with these mics because I yell and I'm very loud, and everyone else just speaks normally.
Test.
Reverb, burr, burr, burr.
Yeah,
It could be
reverb.
kind of cool depending on what it sounds like on there. Do you believe in love after love? Like a little share song back here. Just Adam.
Test.
Yeah, that's a good idea, Flatland Hillbilly. Put a larger port, exit port on that worm.
It's 82 degrees. Where are Christy? Where are you that it is 82 degrees right now? She's gonna say Florida, and I'm gonna be like, checks out.
Joe Park says anything to get me off of Amazon. Well, I'm glad we could help with that. Glad we could help. Garbage Throne Daddy is drinking on some first gen aged. Oop, missed it. Scrolled past. Oh well. Might have said bourbon.
First gen aged corn sour mash.
Corn sour mash.
Nicholas got my first run done over the weekend. Got 3 solid clear jars, and the final got a little cloudy, so I turned it off at 4 total. You know, and Cyrus may have a differing opinion here, but if you're running into that 4th jar and it's getting a little cloudy, you're getting into what you think maybe the tails. Look at the proof and maybe keep pushing on past it. Consider on getting more of that alcohol out of your pot and doing a double distillation or something.
Yeah, throw it in a Faints jar, get a little extra later, especially if you're running on a small still, which if I'm not mistaken, I know you've been in the MFB chat talking about it. It seems like maybe you got a smaller still. But especially if you got a smaller still, run that thing all the way out, throw all that into a Faints jar. Eventually, you can get another run out of it.
Garbage Throne Daddy said, Adam, you sound like you're in a porta john.
Yeah. Yeah. We're in trouble.
Yeah.
We're in trouble.
Hell yeah. Damn, -9 here this morning. Jeez. Southwest Florida. Chrissy called it. Knew it. Kim Spencer says, hey guys, got a question. Trying to do a 50-gallon mash of corn and rye. First time messing with rye. Any tips on the heating process for the corn and rye? Should I do corn first, then rye, or mix it?
If so, rye doesn't have corn. You really need to take up to like 190 degrees if you're converting starches, because it's tough to gelatinize. And so at 190 degrees, you can gelatinize your corn. Rye, it's much lower than that. I think it's like 170, if I'm not mistaken. So you don't have to do it at the same time. I've done several batches where I did it at the same time, used rye and corn.
What do you normally do? Just pitch it into the gelatinized corn on the come down, or what?
Yeah. So once I've gelatinized the corn and turn off the heat so the temperature can fall, then I'll just add in the rye right then.
Nice.
That's how I do it. And there's probably a dozen other ways you could do it.
10,000 ways to fill a jar. That's one of them.
Dude, yeah, it got 13 gallon. Nick has a 13 gallon. Okay.
I like that we do a little weather talk on here every once in a while.
Yeah.
Sorry, just trying to. Oh, there it is. I had to get a little back pop in there. I like a mild amount of weather talk about every time we're in here.
Yeah.
A little bit.
You know, just touch on it. Yeah, how's the weather? Yeah. Well, it's. I don't know
It's
what
like
it
old
is
friends,
here.
right? I mean,
Yeah. Little light weather porch talk. You know.
I know we got a little cold snap again. We got spoiled there for a couple of weeks with some real nice
It was
weather.
like two weeks of like late spring weather.
Yeah,
I mean, it
60s
was
and 70s.
Ooh. Ooh, a little Gulf. I think that's the first time the Gulf of America has been thrown in the live chat there.
Yeah. The Gulf of America.
Oh,
Officially been named so, which is just kind of wild.
shout out Kim. Yeah, anything. Yeah, that's what we're here for. We're not good for much else, to be honest.
Well, not things we can talk about here.
Maybe you are.
No.
Iron Duke loves weather talk.
Yeah. Has the Duke been in yet? I haven't seen his name.
Duke,
seen him.
he's the best, man. He's the best.
If you're using amylase, if you're talking about worrying, okay, I guess I should read the question. Jeffrey
We
asked,
followed it right up with that.
yeah, Jeffrey asks, if you're using amylase, do you need to worry about diastatic power? So not really, because if you're using amylase, especially if you're using the liquid amylase, it's a little different if you're talking about the powdered amylase, because even the powdered amylase can get a little finicky, but the liquid amylase is like a tank, and you don't have to worry about diastatic power at all for the recipe. If that's what I think that's what you're talking about.
Oh my God! Look what happened upon our table here. I didn't even.
Just snuck up on us.
Kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Oh.
This is from last week. If you guys missed it, we did a little caramel apple post flavoring on some. What proof shine did we end up using? 110? Is that what that called for?
We were using 110. That's correct.
2 cups of 110.
Yeah.
A little bit of this, a little brown sugar, a little raw sugar, some Werther's Originals that were substituted for some caramel extract. What else do we have in there? Oh, a little vanilla extract.
Apple juice
And apple juice.
and brown sugar and raw sugar.
And if you guys didn't notice on the last one, I'm pretty partial to this stuff. Any for you?
Yeah. Thank you. That little bit right there would be good enough for me.
Yeah, sure.
Look at that.
Grab a glass here,
You
Yaddle.
didn't even get him a glass again.
Hey, we throw this in the... Oh, never mind. Oh, hey, also, before I get it out of here,
Liver.
shout out to one of our loyal customers that brought us a bunch of beauty berry jams. Our fridge is like full of this stuff right now.
Yeah.
She brought us even more today.
Yeah.
What a
Pretty awesome.
good person to have around.
And I think she's going to be at the festival too.
Yeah. I
On
think
their jams.
she's coming to jam out at the Shine On Festival. What do these apples taste like?
Flatland Hillbilly, he made another gallon like the next day.
Yeah.
He says, I can't believe you have any left.
No, I would. Yeah, I made another gallon.
Yeah.
Hey, will you toss those up?
Kim
there?
tried mixing Werther's green apple over aged corn. It was great. Yeah, I bet. Well, and that, the moonshine that we used, that was corn liquor that we used for that too. Wasn't aged though. And we did use green apples.
I think now, I don't know how you could get better, but I think if you ran like an apple brandy, maybe it could be worse, could be better. I don't know.
Yeah.
And it's so good.
Yeah.
Winsong says their beautyberry jam is so awesome. Yeah, because I took some of it home. This is a new one too, honey. This is watermelon flavored beautyberry jam.
Yeah.
So
That'll be waiting on you.
yeah.
Got to try banana rum. Yeah, I think that'll probably be one. We got some rums too that we could kind of distill on, or well, we aged that one, didn't we?
We aged it, yeah. But we're going to be making some more rum.
Yeah.
So
I'd like to do maybe, I don't know, I see a lot of guys doing double distillations and stuff on the rum and running it through a thumper with some different stuff. Banana might be a good one. Banana rum does sound awesome.
yep. Pure Poison's in the house saying, hey guys, what's up? Paul McKinley says apple brandy with apple Jolly Ranchers. Shoot yeah.
That sounds interesting.
Oklahooch, yeah, brother. I saw your text. I didn't call you because I was here doing this.
Oklahooch is in the house.
One of the watermelon is mine. I will take things that are incorrect for all the money. I'm just kidding. You could come. There's so much here.
Yeah, come grab
You
it.
could have some.
Oklahooch is heading home.
Hell yeah, brother. Well, drive safe, man. The Oklahooch is back in town. I think we're maybe coordinating with a couple of you guys. You can call yourselves out as you see fit that may come over at some point and look at a couple different things the way Cyrus runs. And so that'll be a cool, kind of interesting thing. We'll probably maybe do some filming on that. And
Yeah. Uncle Ralph with his old crap diaries back in the house in this live. Good to see you
I
again.
like that guy. I didn't even know you could get a name that long.
Joe, the last proof was 128. And I don't think, it seemed like we had several announcements, and I thought I'm going to miss one of these, but is there anything else? I think we covered everything.
No, there's something else.
The heirloom corn that we're going to start
Heirloom
carrying.
corn, Sugarlands,
Grace's Toy Closet.
yep. Waiting on that other
new
big sponsor
YouTube subscriptions.
till we sign them.
And as we, as things get locked in on the Shine On Festival, like bands that we've booked or, sponsors that are coming or any of the.
A food truck that I'm just very excited about will probably get mentioned.
Yeah, right. So like as we nail down a lot of this stuff that we've been planning for a while, we'll just announce it as it comes. And then I will be building out the Shine On Festival's website with all that information as it comes in. Oklahooch, Sugarland's what? Sugarland is coming to the Shine On Festival, going to be one of the sponsors of the festival. They're going to be here selling their goodies here at the festival. So if you want to check them out.
Hit them with it. Hit them with it, Adam.
Working on it.
Hit them with it. Let them have it.
Wait, I don't have a sugar lamp.
Give it to them.
But I can do this. I can say that.
Okay.
And then I can also say, just because,
Sorry, you got the
that.
one on it. Hey, look at that shit.
It looks good. But yeah, there's that too. Got the little sugar laying up there. Yeah. I'll hit him with the shine on link.
How do you like me now, Aunt Marilyn? Who's the loser now, huh? No, just kidding.
Terry suggest show notes on index cards. You know, that would be a good idea.
What is it?
I would need to make notes to remember to make show notes on the index cards, but
Yeah.
it is a good idea.
If we could have a show note for the show note to remind us to do the show note,
Exactly.
we'd probably be fine.
We might need a show note assistant to write the show notes.
Backwoods, probably shouldn't have released that yet, but yeah, I mean, yeah, but I didn't realize that was the one on there.
Oh, the Harley? Yeah.
They're good people. We'll talk about that one next week.
Yeah. The festival's in Fort Smith, Arkansas, on the old Fort Chaffee base. It is now the Chaffee Entertainment District, and in the fall, October 4th.
Pretty cool place. Pretty cool place out here. I mean, we definitely this is where the homebrew center is as well. I mean, all we've done with all we've done. I mean, it took a little paperwork and a lot of working with some other people, but we are shutting down, a big long portion of the street out here and fencing everything off and kind of.
It's about 2 city blocks, right?
It'd be more than that. It'd be more than
2
that.
or 3 blocks long.
I don't know exactly. It's like I don't know. It's like 600 yards, I think.
It's a lot.
Yeah. So yeah, I think it's going to be cool, and I think people will be kind of surprised to come out here and just look at the surrounding, not just the festival, but like all the other stuff out here, breweries, and hopefully by then this distillery and all kinds of cool stuff.
A couple of museums out here from the old base. So
Yeah,
there's 2 of them.
There's a Elvis Presley museum, which is it's like a barber shop in there, and then it's got a bunch of other history and stuff in there as well. Mm-hmm. And then is there another one out here? We should know that.
Well,
they're opening up another. I don't know if it's open yet.
And then there's a lot of stuff too that we're planning that we're not even going to announce. It's just going to be when people show up here and see what else is going on. It's going to be like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Like, what? and we're just not going to tell anybody it's happening.
Yeah, there's we'll talk about pretty much everything to a certain extent, but we're leaving a certain element of surprise until you show up here and just see it all in person. So yeah. And it's, some of those things are things that you just have to see. You can't be told. Yeah. Yeah. It's not gonna, if I tried to tell you some of the stuff, you'd be like, wait, what? What are you talking about? So think Silver Dollar City. Anyone ever been to the fabulous Silver Dollar City in Branson, Missouri?
Not in, I went several times as a kid. My parents took me.
First off, it's the same. Okay. A couple more rides. It's the same though. Yeah. Think that, but with a little bit of Vegas just stripped right down the middle of it. Just crazy things you might see, crazy people that might be just walking around. Yeah, tack on, think of Silver Dollar City and then tack on politically incorrectness. Yeah. Maybe a little of that. Yeah. 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 Someone in marketing got a little loose over there at Silver Dollar City, and they're like, you know what? Let's just let's have a guy walking around juggling. Says drip, drip, drip. Ooh. Yeah, the drip. What is this? These aren't pints. Where do we get these? What is it? Well, it says a pint. I don't know. Just looks. Well, there's no. Oh, it doesn't have any writing on it. That's an off mason jar. That's like a retired pickle jar or something. Oh, okay. I don't know. Well, it doesn't say ball. It doesn't say anything on it. That's a Dollar General mason jar, maybe. What happened to us? We can't even get the good ball jugs anymore. Dude, Nick, seriously, you live 30 minutes away. I didn't realize that. That's awesome. You should come down to the shop and see us sometime. Yeah, come hang out. Steal Your Dollar City.
Yeah, that's right.
Wow.
That's right.
Maybe is it too late to rebrand this whole thing? What? He's talking about Silver Dollar City. Steal Your Dollar City.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
It is kind of expensive there. That said, I do love the fudge making. You go in there, you sit up in the little bleachers, and you watch them hammer out some brittle, work a little fudge.
We're pretty partial to getting succotash at Silver Dollar.
Yeah, the skillet guys.
Yeah, the skillet guys.
Yeah. Yeah, I like, which they, at a time, they weren't doing it anymore, but the wood whittler in there in the bottom of the Christmas store, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Bubbles are there, bubbles are gone.
that was for you, honey.
Hope you enjoyed that.
Lucky D says, just showing up here, what were the previous jars?
132 and 128, brother. This is jar number 3.
Give me an idea.
Also, hey, looky, don't be late anymore, okay? I'm just kidding. You can show up whenever you want. I'm just glad you're here. Sorry? Oh.
Lost the Sharpie for a minute.
Bennett, you remember like when you were on the playground and kids used to like corn dog other kids? I'm going to drive to your home and corn dog you multiple times. I'm not going to do that. I don't know why I said that. I'm sorry. Hey, I'm sorry. I'm just a joke, okay? I'm not going to do it.
Are you off your meds again? What?
Fine off. He said, I dare you. Man, it's big old boy. I don't know. I don't know. I'd be trying to drive to Bennett's house and give him a quart. Actually, you know what? I'm not scared of anybody. Yeah, I'll do it.
Iron Duke's in the house. Get a hydrometer.
What's that mean?
I'm not sure. I'm lost on that
Who
one.
put what in there?
Oh. Always have room for the Duke. That is correct.
Mm-hmm.
We got over 50 people across all sources.
Hey.
That is awesome.
Lucky D said, hey, peeps, work has been getting in the way of liquor making, man. You got to get your priorities right.
Priorities are all jacked up.
I'll let Peach take care of the light work. Nobody's wife.
Yeah. That would dissuade me, I think.
I bet she's beat Bennett up a few times.
I think so. Like, she's probably not putting up with his crap.
I don't blame her. They're still married, so I mean, she's got to be to some extent putting up with all of his shit.
Yes, that's right.
What's up, everybody? Welcome in. Welcome in. Looks like there was a little pop over there on TikTok. Glad to have you guys. Sorry, been somewhat abusing you guys this stream, but glad you guys are here with us. Jeffrey never heard of corn dog?
To know what corn dog'em means.
All right, will you stand up? No, I'm just kidding. So, like, you never had like on the playground where you were from. No one ever just like walked up behind you and gave you one of those corn dog. Maybe it was just my school. Maybe we were doing some stuff, living life a little different. I don't know. I just thought everyone knew what that was.
I didn't know what that was.
Popsicle, corn dog. No king shaming. That's right.
Do you want to start bottling our beer?
Well, I think let's get through till 6, take the break, and then when we come back, we'll bottle.
We'll bottle the beer then.
Yeah, because I don't know. Sometimes I get to yapping while we're doing one of those activities, and the next thing I know, it's like 30 minutes later.
Gotcha.
Oh, didn't know it had it. So you're familiar with the motion. That's just not what you called it. What did you guys call it? Or maybe there wasn't a name for it.
That's called a rhino hump. You just
a rhino
other
hump?
People know what it is. You just didn't know what to
They
call
had different names for it. Ham bone.
Ham bone. What?
Call it diddying.
Diddying.
That's a federal charge, brother. What's the proof?
Oh, did we not tell? Oh,
I don't think we
the jar number 3. We're getting bad at 21.
When there's nothing on the line, we're a little lax on the
121.
And Iron Duke says in Britain you get locked up for those moves. Well,
Never too busy just stirring sugar on blueberry wine.
Let's see. Closest without going over Uncle Ralph and his old crap diary, 120.
almost nailed it.
Almost.
The Iron Duke says in Britain you get locked up for those moves.
Yeah.
That's why we live in the U.S. of A, baby.
You got a license for that TV? You got a license to watch
I've seen
TV?
those videos.
Hey, Iron Duke, weigh in on this. Do you have to have a license to watch the television over there?
I've seen.
That can't be true.
No, I've seen
No,
videos. There's people that come up to your door.
The license police come to your house.
And
For a TV?
Yeah, buddy.
I don't know if it's tied with the
Yeah,
BBC.
he said yes.
He said yes.
He said yes.
No, he said yes. I'm
No,
serious. I've seen 100
There's a
videos.
reason why, like, there's this running joke, like, you got a license for that? Like it's a British thing. Like, they license everything.
Oh.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
it's like I don't know if it's tied with the public
You would
broadcasting.
really not have a good time.
I mean, Jesus. Like, I don't get
Like,
so many licenses.
the money goes to the BBC. Yeah, so it's the British, the public broadcasting over there. They come around and I guess it's like a tax, I guess,
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
providing that to everyone for no cost.
Interesting.
Well, all licenses are a tax, but we don't have to get into that.
That is true.
That's. Oh, so I guess that's just how they fund the public.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
But
It's just
still,
an
even
accounting.
then, like, we have public channels and nobody had to get a license.
That said, I'm pretty sure from the videos that I've watched, it's somewhat on a volunteer basis because they'll come to some people's house and they're just like, "Get out of here, you bloody idiot," or whatever that and they just slam the door in their face. And I would imagine nothing ever comes of it. I don't know.
The chat, dude, there's so much. Do you like
Yeah.
popsicles, little boy? I don't know. What is that's got to be a reference to something.
Yeah, it has to be.
I'm not.
You guys are starting to worry me a little bit. What's going on in here? All right, everyone, calm down on the Brit. They're not a bad bunch, okay?
Yeah, they're a good bunch.
Everyone, slow down. Everyone's just like dogpiling on the Duke for no reason.
It's like 1776.
Shit! Like, what are you guys doing? What are you guys doing?
No, we love our Brits. Love them. Love them.
Oh, it was a Family Guy reference, apparently.
Wait, she said Family Guy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's the Weezer guy, the little old man.
We got a lot. Oh, got a whole mess of popsicle shells to sell.
Popsicles with your name on it.
Get your fat ass back here.
All right, I'm trying to look. We don't have a clock on this side. What time is it?
5:50.
Look at the chat times.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Right there in front of my face.
Well, I did the same thing. I was like, man, I was kind of because I was living in. I felt like I was at a casino. It's like where I had no recollection of like what the time is, and then yeah, we love the Duke. Yeah.
Joe Park says we love our Duke.
Yeah.
No doubt about it.
To know how we got on that. You got a little American there for a minute.
A bit patriotic.
Everyone's so. I love it. I like it. Okay, but like, it's also
civilized country. That's awesome.
I like a little. I don't know what is the common like. We poke and jab at the Brits about this, that, and the other. But what's the common like American jab?
I don't know.
I mean, the civilized country maybe that's
that's a good
one
one.
of them. But.
I don't know. They like to think that we're all cowboys. I think,
Right.
or even like a pretty Atlantic accent in America sounds like hick to them, right? So I'm curious, what Duke has to dunk on us with.
Well, I'm pretty sure like most European countries consider us like uncultured.
Uncultured swine. Yes.
Yeah. And I'm not saying they're wrong either.
We trained. I will say this: when I was still in and everything, we trained with these British soldiers that were coming out and shooting at our range, and we spent a few days with them, and we were talking to them about everything from like MREs. And eventually, we got pretty comfortable with each other, where it was like, your buddies, where you're just kind of openly talking shit to each other, just joking around, and they started hammering us with like mass shootings and stuff. And I was like, Jesus, come on, yeah, you guys are like running around killing everybody, killing each other. They got on a long tangent about like, I think someone hit him pretty good with something that stung a little bit, and then one of them popped off like one of those. Yeah, well, at least
At least we don't have a mass shooting.
They said something about teachers and Glock. Like, I don't know. It was like pretty poignant, whatever it was. And then they just like all of them. They all had it's like they were all holding it, just waiting for the right time. And then it just seemed like a very common dig. I was like, geez, this is tough.
Garbage Throne Daddy says, well, inbred.
Lucky, well, I think so. I think that they had, just like how we have like the Tabasco, salt, pepper, matches in the like pouch, the wet. I think they had bags that they could like boil. Like we have the coffee. I do remember thinking like some of theirs were a lot better than most of ours. Like maybe that's just because they were super different, and I don't know. I was just kind of enamored by them.
You hadn't eaten 800 of them?
yeah, I had eaten a bunch of them. Yeah. Earl Grey. I found a case of tea back there. Did you know we had that?
Yeah, that's for kombucha.
Oh.
Yeah.
No shit.
Green tea, black tea for kombucha.
We need to make some kombucha and some stuff. We need to do some weird ferments, some pepper, like hot sauce and kombucha and kimchi. Yeah, I like kimchi.
Yeah, we can do
by the
that.
way. My wife really likes kimchi. Dude, Duke, I've been telling. We're working it out right now. To figure out the best way to, get somebody. I can never know how to. If I was a weatherman, first off, I'm sorry, I'm going to get off on a little side tangent here. The fact that weatherman just with ease, and I get it, it's their full-time job, they do it a lot, but I have zero. Every time I try to put my hand somewhere on this and I'm looking backwards into this monitor, it's not within me. I would never have it down, and it will never get better. That's how anyway, sorry. Duke, as soon as we can get the screen, somewhere where it's big and they can see you good and the platform is right, I would love for the Duke to be the first.
Absolutely. We are working on getting all the software correct for a remote interview type, bring somebody on, like.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
My main,
I could be the next Robert Streisand.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think Iron Duke should be the first one.
That's a good idea. My main hurdle right now is getting their audio where you guys can hear it. That's my main.
It may have to be a headphone situation.
It's the same hurdle I have with the soundboard thing, so I'm working on that. But got the software. I just got to figure out the audio part. So
okay,
we'll get there.
Yep.
Like everything else on the live stream so far, it's just been one little step at a time.
Daniel, kimchi is fermented cabbage. It's a Korean, it's like a very popular Korean dish. They ferment cabbage with spice and maybe some, I don't know if they put vinegar in it at some point, or maybe
I don't have any idea.
I don't know. I'd have to look at it. Why is he saying don't talk about the weather? I thought he was a weather guy.
Give me a super simple sake recipe. Super simple sake. I mean, that would be a pound and a half of rice with like 2 pounds of sugar per gallon of water. That's the super simple version. If you're talking about doing a conversion, then I think you need 3 pounds of rice. And then a lot of people, when they're doing sake, use that yellow label angel yeast because it does the conversion and the.
So we have some back there. I rolled up on it one day and I was like,
I've had it for over
Japanese, like writing and stuff on it.
I've had it for over a year. I keep intending to do it, and it's just still sitting back there. I
would love to make some a hot sake. Okay, if I get in a special mood, if we're out and about, we go to do sushi, whatever, and then I've got like my brother-in-law or a buddy or something with me, and we start getting into a little hot sake situation, I can get off the rails a little bit. It creeps up on you, and there's something about the temperature at which it's served that really gets in there.
Yeah.
And it's like a freight train. It's like nothing, 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 and then
right.
Hey, look, you've had 7 bottles of sake.
You've had 18 shots too many.
It's weird. It's different. It's like the soju in Korea that gets all the American soldiers like all jacked up, gets them in trouble. There's been a lot of rank and stuff lost over soju.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with sake.
Duke says we'll do a rice recipe soon in the newsletter. Woohoo! Who do we have in the chat so far? 42. What was that number? Couldn't catch it.
43 on main channel, 1 on Facebook, 2 on alternate homebrew channel, and 2 on TikTok.
I think we always have 1 on Facebook. I think it's just you.
It might be.
Well, and also I don't think that you can. I looked into this a little bit. I don't think that you can get on the For You page with a horizontal TikTok live.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. That was the bulk of the conclusion. But I don't care either way. Like, if people know I'm doing it and they want to get on here, they can.
But how do I see them whenever I go on, whenever I flip? Why do I see horizontals?
Clinton's 45 now that he sees.
Well, that's different.
Is it?
They're in it. Maybe I should be in the gamer. There's a way you can set up the. I don't know. We'll talk about this.
Okay. Yeah, we can. Nuts and bolts.
Sorry, we started getting a little troubleshooting there.
And for those of you that weren't in when we were talking about it, the channel subscriptions are now set. You can join.
They're going?
Channel. Yeah, they're up.
Oh, I didn't realize.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There should be. Now, I don't know, like, someone in the chat can tell me if they're below the video, there should be a join button. And if there is, that means it's available.
So if someone that's what gives them the custom like emojis and stuff.
You get custom emojis that you can use in the chat or comments on the video.
Let me try.
You get custom.
It's gonna be wild the first time we see like one of those in the chat, just like
yeah. That's gonna be cool. For sure.
Also, I'm curious what they look like.
Yeah, there's also like 2 tiers. So one tier is just the basic tier. You get all of the emojis and the special badges, and then you get preference in answering comments on videos and things like that. Because I'm starting to get so many comments now on the videos.
What is this?
What do you point at?
Gifted 5 still in the clear membership.
What?
Welcome to Bootlegger.
I don't even know what that means.
Was gifted a membership. Was gifted a membership. Was gifted a membership.
Wow. Okay.
Oh, so somebody is buying membership.
Someone bought 5 and gave them out.
Man, that is awesome.
I think it's. Now I've seen this before.
Oh, Richard. It says by Richard.
Richard Briner.
Man, that is awesome, brother. So
I think that someone can do that, can gift them, and then maybe you have to click something or type something.
Yeah, I don't know. But there's the badges. Clinton has a badge now. Flatland Hillbilly has a badge. Iowa Free Thinker.
What the hell?
Wow.
Yeah, so the badges are popping up. So those of you that have
gifted a membership. Look, everyone's.
Oh, this is awesome.
I wish 20. Clinton gave 20 of them out.
Oh, brother, that's awesome. So, like, for those of you that have been gifted these memberships now, throw some Throw some special emojis in there. Let me know. Let me make sure those emojis are
Still
working.
getting them. They're still getting them.
Good grief. That is awesome.
Dude, Clinton, what a crazy thing. I don't even know.
Paul's like,
Yeah, probably. You're about to get one, probably. I don't know.
that is nuts, man.
That's so weird. I don't know how these work. I know I'm more familiar with them on like Twitch and Kick and stuff because they give subs, I think is what it's called. But,
yeah, that's nuts.
Wow, that's
Ooh, that
wild.
jar's almost full.
Ooh.
George,
Dude, thank you guys.
Yeah, that is wild. Richard, thank you. Thank you so much. And Clinton, thank you.
Wow. We really appreciate that. That's awesome.
Oh, let me just spill it all over my hands.
I'm 50-50 with those. I think honestly, this was the generic jar that got you on that one.
Try to do the emojis that he was talking about. See,
how do they put the emojis in there?
I don't even know.
I hit join, but nothing happened. I guess nobody wants me. Your wife.
I'll make sure you get hooked up, honey. So Clinton's putting in there $1.99 for Stillhand, $5.99 for the bootlegger. So he's talking about the two different tiers.
Yeah.
There they are, right there. Clinton just put them up. So
What's that
the
trophy?
mason jar. Then there's the Uncle Si is the little person there, and then the diaper is for the Depends, and then Shine On.
How do they put them in there?
The trophy is. I didn't put a trophy in there.
There's another one too that's not a.
I have no idea. Those may be
Maybe they just come with
generic
the-
extras. I don't know. I'm about to.
The more members a channel gets, the more customer emojis they get.
Right. So as the membership grows, I get to add more.
Really should know more about this than I do.
I don't know much.
That's got a little funk in it, doesn't it? What is that? Huh. We'll check it all out tomorrow. That jar has a little bit of a. I wonder if it's the jar. I wonder if there was. These jars aren't familiar to me. I don't know where they
That
came
jar
from.
is definitely a different jar than any. It's got writing on the bottom of it. China.
Thank you, Clinton.
Check your settings to allow gifts. From you're talking about to the other guys in the chat, I think.
I
think so.
Make sure everybody on the hits the like button for sure. Let's see. Check your settings to allow gifts. Maybe to receive the gifted
I don't know.
subscription. I don't know either.
I don't know. I had someone in the chat who's more knowledgeable on that type of thing. Help them out on that. I don't know.
Then it says China Funk. Yeah, I don't know.
It comes from China.
Oh, I forgot to do bubbles. Forgot to do bubbles.
Well, we got a good break point in the middle of this.
Levi says, thanks to whoever just gifted memberships. Instead, just got an email saying I was gifted a membership. Yeah, Levi, that would have been either Richard or Clinton. They were the two, or those were the ones I saw doing the gifting anyway. There might have been some more in there.
Think so. Clinton and
Richard Reiner?
Clinton, Richard Briner, I think.
Briner.
Yeah. Appreciate both of y'all. That's crazy and awesome.
It says, click on one of the gifted memberships given in here. Click the three dots on top right. gift settings and enable gifted memberships, it should be on by default.
Huh.
Hit the gift box, click allow. Yeah, so I barely figured out how to get the memberships up, so I don't really know everything they're talking
Of
about.
all the social media platforms that are out there,
Yeah.
I know the least about YouTube. And then when you get in there to the levels of like, hey, there's all this, I don't know anything about them.
I
Right.
think we're probably all learning a little bit on
Technology is hard. Thank you, Bennett. We listen and we don't judge. All right, that said, we're right here in the good spot of this jar to take a little break. It is 6 o'clock. I think we're going to take a short little intermission here, and then we will be right back with you folks.
Awesome. Thanks, Levi. Have a good night.
or about the best corn or their secret mash bill. For others, it's about a great still and a lot of copper in the process. The best distillers and moonshiners know that the pursuit of the perfect shine is more about the sum total of each great part, not any one thing. The North Georgia Still Company is a great place to pursue your perfect. You won't find a better still. The materials, craftsmanship, and attention to detail in every still they make, regardless of size, is the finest that money can buy. Need awesome grains, enzymes, yeast, or other accessories for making mash or distilling it? They've got that too. The North Georgia Still Company is all about turning water into shine. So go ahead, get your shine on.
Everyone go take a bathroom break, get a refreshment. That's what we did. Welcome back. Welcome back.
Oh, they can hear it now.
Did a little magic on it.
Nice.
Sweet.
Nice.
Little Adam magic.
That's the Adam. That's why he gets paid the big bucks. Yeah, that's awesome. 5 plus 5.
I believe that's 10 where I'm from.
I got 8, but
5 by 5.
I could be wrong.
Don't forget to carry the 1 and
That's it. That was it. Yeah, you dropped that. Yeah. Yeah.
All right, so let's bottle this beer.
Let's do it.
We'll grab our equipment. Get a little bucket here. Got the bottle tree. Everything has been sanitized and ready to go.
Thank you,
And
Adam.
because, like I said, we are trying to do this in a beginner-friendly manner because we're trying to create a beginner beer kit. We are going to use carbonation tablets for the carbonation. This started out, this is going to be about a 4.5% ABV beer. And we used Pilsen. We used, what was that? The DME. We used Bavarian wheat DME.
It's the hops.
And we used, I'm trying to remember the hops. I'm going to go look because it's in the fridge still because we still have that package.
Oh, yeah. It was the, well, and also we racked this, so it sat in here since December 18th. It's set in a different 1 gallon. And we racked it right before the live into this new 1 gallon carboy. There was a small amount of sediment on the bottom, but I was really surprised as compared to wine or something that we might do. It was a lot less, and it ended up clearing up nice. Got a real pretty color to it. So
We used a Fugle.
Bugle?
Yep. And I don't remember the brew day schedule that we used, but yeah, I've got it written down somewhere. Oh, you already got it going. All right. There you go. So who in the chat has made beer before? Let's see how many beer folks we got in the chat.
You got any big bad beer makers?
Beer is boring unless you distill it.
Which, again, I'm hopeful. We tasted this a little bit right when we kind of had judged that fermentation had run its course, and we gave it a little try, and I'm very hopeful
It's a very classic American light beer.
Yeah, it's just seemed like it was going to be a really good beer.
Joe DeMari raised his hand for the makes beer. 33 people on the Still in the Clear channel watching the live right now. That's awesome. Thank y'all for being in here.
I've got to remember, too, we're putting a pellet down in this, so I don't know if some of these I may have
Yeah, you're getting it about right.
got a little overfilled on.
Some may end up with a little more carbonation than others. I'll take this off.
Man, these wands,
They make it so easy, don't they?
oh my God.
I think our chat is stuck. The last one is Joe DeMari. Okay,
there
there
you
you go.
How's that?
Yep, got it. Clinton Hush says wine and mead only. I thought about doing a beer, but the snobs that do it are snobs. I mean,
He's not really,
there's not really wrong. There's
not really wrong. It can definitely be that way. I mean, we have a lot of different people making a lot of different stuff that come in here, and yeah, a beer maker can be more. What's a gentle way to put that?
It's kind of like it's that way everywhere, though. I think.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
There are definitely some snobby winemakers and
100%.
distillers, and
it's a geographic thing. Most of our winemakers that come in here are Muscadine wine, good old boy. You know,
they're farmers,
old men, and
farmers and ranchers.
They're like the best. See if we can get one more out of this.
Get that one full.
We're gonna try. We may have to funnel the last. It's gonna be pretty dang close. It's gonna be real close.
There you go. I'll have to pull that out.
I'm going to pull it out in this last little gimp here. I'm going to get the rest of that off in there. Let me do this.
There you go. Richard says this beekeeper likes his mead. Jason says I never made beer, but have drank a crap ton of it. Yeah,
we like a good beekeeper.
Terry says no beer here, but DME makes for a good light whiskey. I've never used DME in a whiskey, but that sounds like it'd work well to me. Iron Duke says, I hate to say it, having worked in the U.S., beer in America is an oxymoron.
They're going to pile back in on there. I don't know that I'm a whole off.
I mean, he kind of set himself up.
You're kind of asking for it a little bit, okay? Predominantly American chat. Didn't know if you do that.
This is American show.
All right. Take some
I'm
of the
going to
one.
dip my hands in the sanitizer first.
Possibly overfilled just a little bit, and
Yeah,
gotta
Guinness
see
is
if we
great.
can.
Love Guinness.
Richard says he'll have bees one day. 1 drop, 2 drops. For those of you that aren't aware, these are just little pre-measured sugar tablets to give you just the right amount of sugar to allow for some extra carbonation so that your beer is carbonated. There we go. You want to do the capping?
Sure.
Oh, I forgot to sanitize these caps.
Uh-oh.
How many bottles we need?
We've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Got a good yield out of that batch. Also, we ended up overshooting the volume of that 1 gallon batch a little bit. That's why we've got 10 full bottles as opposed to, 9 and about a half.
Yeah, we did a primary ferment in a 2 gallon bucket.
Yeah, so we got our carboy good and filled there, and we came out at 4.5, and I think by recipe we should have been like somewhere between 4.5 and 5, right at 5, and
You get those capped, and I'll proof this jar. And didn't spill a drop.
not done yet. Okay.
And Duke says, don't worry about sanitizing the caps. It's not an English bitter or a Belgian lager. Okay, I wouldn't.
It's 4.5% alcohol. I'll tell you that, brother. It's not going to withstand a whole lot of gerbs.
Can't tell if that was a highbrow joke or something.
It could have been, also that's the thing about the Brits. Like, they're like, listen, admittedly, brother, smarter than I am, I think. So there's some comedy that's a little lost on me. I don't know if that's what you were shooting for, but
I love the British humor, British in shows and comedians and so on. Dry and sarcastic.
I think our plan on this is to leave this out for a couple weeks?
Yeah, we'll give it 2 or 3 weeks before we refrigerate it. This is jar number 4.
Kind of.
I don't have anywhere to set this where they can't see it. I guess it doesn't really matter. Okay. Let's see. Proof on the last jar was 121. Terry says Coors in the late 70s was pretty good.
Did it change?
I wasn't drinking in the 70s, so I don't know.
I damn sure wasn't.
120, 114, 116, 115, 121, 126, 117, and 108.
Thank you, sir.
105, 118. Backwoods, Richard beat you to the punch on the 118. Charlene says 100. Flatland says 117, which Pure Poison already guessed 117, Flatland. Uncle Ralph and his old crap diary. I was brought in Coors Light. I was brought in Coors Light 1978. Nick Haas says 119. There we go.
Well, there they are, folks.
10-pack.
In all their glory, a custom-made 10-pack, which I would assume not this coming week, but the next, we will be enjoying on the live.
I've got a
Maybe.
multi-part question. I don't know if we hit it.
Okay.
There's a fella named Chris7812. If I scroll up, I've got him at 620 saying, "Hey guys, hypothetically speaking, someone is first time distilling and they have a mash of 1 gallon of cracked corn, 8 pounds of brown sugar, and water to fill up a 5-gallon pot. How will that turn out?"
That's so much sugar.
Also, that person doesn't have a thumper.
That's so much sugar.
Even if I don't have a thumper, how will that corn and sugar fare with ABV? And then he just now said he's a bit worried about blindness. Crap.
Okay, so if I'm remembering all that correctly, 1 pound of corn.
Let me go back. It was several parts, wasn't it?
Okay.
Have a mash of 1 gallon of cracked corn.
A gallon of cracked corn is going to weigh about
How much mash did he make?
5
I
pounds.
thought he was making 1
And
gallon.
then it said 8
5
pounds of
gallon.
sugar.
So if he measured out his corn by the gallon, that's about 5 pounds. And then he said 8 pounds of sugar in a 5-gallon batch.
I thought he was making
5
1
gallon
gallon. I was like, oof.
Water up to the 5-gallon line.
Okay, so that's, I mean, it's good. Yeah, it's going to turn out fine. I mean, you're a little, a minimum amount of corn in a sugar mash, in my opinion, is 1 pound per gallon. So you're right there close. And then eight pounds of sugar to 5 gallons of water. That's, that's pretty good. That's going to get you up around 1.06-ish for your starting gravity. So that's going to put you at around 8% ABV. So yeah, there's nothing wrong with that recipe. And as far as there was something about blindness.
Yeah, he says, I'm also a bit worried about the blindness crap. I know it's mostly nothing to worry about, but how much do you throw out? And do you reuse heads in the next batch?
Okay, 2-part question then. So the first part, you're going to be tossing out a jar or 2 of heads or setting it aside anyway. I'm assuming you're using a pot still because you said no thumper. And so your methanol that you're worried about is going to be smeared across the entire run. And by percentage, it's going to be highest in the tails. So you don't really have to worry about tossing out the 4 shots. I don't anyway, because I know the highest concentration of that methanol is going to be in the heads and the tails, and I'm separating those out.
Well, based off how he asked that question too, let's clarify for him. When we say toss out and hold out of your end product that you keep in your run, that's 2 different things. So just because we tell you not to toss something out doesn't mean don't hold it out of
Your final
cut. But you're going to have to learn your heads, your hearts, and your tails and your cuts and cull out your hearts, your desirable spirit. And then your heads and your tails, you can save up and run again later and do a double distillation on and
yeah, feints run.
Yeah.
Now, the thing about the feints run, you can't do that multiple generations in a row. So you can do a feints run off of a bunch of single distillations, but what you don't want to do is stack up feints over run after run after run after run of the same liquor.
compress.
Yeah, because then you are compounding methanol in those feints. So you do a feints run, and then what the heads and tails that you get off of a feints run, you toss that out. You don't need to reuse it. You don't need to rerun it or anything like that. Now, that's how I do it. And there's 1,000 other answers on how to handle that.
I think just from talking to people that come through the store, there's a lot of question around how do I know what to keep and what to cull off of my final product per run.
Mm-hmm.
And my answer has been pretty much the same, which is like, well, you're going to have to figure out what's kind of has an undesirable taste and what has an undesirable smell and make your judgments based off of that. And it kind of feels not great to give them an answer that's like, hey, you got to kind of do this and know what is what before you'll really.
Well, and I made a video about this, and it's a process for how to teach yourself how to make your own cuts. Because first of all, it's all just personal preference. And so you do a run like we're doing here, and we've got all these jars. They've got paper on them. They're labeled jar 1, jar 2, jar 3 with the proofs on them. And then tomorrow we'll smell and taste them, and we'll decide which ones are going to go in our final product and which ones are going to be set to the side. And that's I've got a video on that process, and you will learn how to cut the liquor that you like after you've done that a number of times. And it's just a matter of practice and doing it, and you'll get better at it.
And Bennett in the TikTok chat is saying he starts at his middle jar and he works his way out. Super common way to go about it.
That's part of the video that I made. You start in the middle, and not only do you start in the middle, but you start in the middle and work towards the tails first. Then you come back to the middle and work towards the heads.
Yeah.
I know this has probably been answered
also
before,
Duke,
but where's the
Duke's out
store?
for the night. So good night, Duke, if you're still in here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You already bounced?
It's like
I missed it.
It's like
3 a.m. there or whatever. Yeah. they don't got no Waffle House. Okay.
Yeah.
It's 3 a.m. What else are you doing? You're going to sleep. Okay.
Also, Chad, am I still echoing? Does it still sound bad?
Yes, Arkansas, Nick Haas.
Tails first so you don't blow your palate out.
Correct.
Yeah. Everyone on TikTok is saying you're echoing.
Yeah.
Why would I want waffles?
What? Because waffles are amazing.
Go get you go. You know, the Waffle House isn't just waffles, by the way. It's clear that you don't got them over there in your neck of the woods. You got pancakes. You got an American cheeseburger. You got cheese eggs, hash browns, bacon, sausage. I'll tell you what they don't got: blood sausage and beans. Maybe you could get beans at a Waffle House. I don't know.
I bet you can't get beans
Probably
at a
couldn't.
Waffle House.
They don't have bangers and mash.
Yeah,
That's true. They don't.
some blood sausage.
Yeah, Winsong, because waffles are yummy.
Oh man, dude, now I'm getting stirred up about Waffle House a little bit.
Hillbilly says best is the ribeye steak and hash browns.
You're getting the ribeye steak and you're getting the ribeye steak at the Waffle House, Hillbilly.
I don't get steak at the Waffle
I don't
House.
think I've ever done that.
I've seen it on the picture.
I've
on
seen
the
it.
wall.
I've seen it on the menu.
I know they got it.
They have it on the menu.
Never had one. Never seen one. Order one.
It says black pudding. What the heck?
Don't have Waffle Houses in Philadelphia?
There's Waffle Houses in Missouri that you can still. I gotta be careful how I word this. Because a TikTok, you can have a Lucky Strike in or a Marlboro.
That's wild.
Yeah. Pretty crazy. Missouri's the Wild West in terms of like everything. They've got recreational things you can smoke, and they've got 100 gallons of liquor per adult times 2 per household. We've got all kinds of cool stuff going on in Missouri.
Jason Acosta says smothered and covered.
Smothered, covered, capped, and chunked, and I'm on board.
What's the capped?
Mushrooms.
Mushrooms. Yeah, that makes sense.
I like mushrooms a lot. Broccoli. That's
Call
right,
it
Bennett.
broccoli. There you go. Never been to a Huddle House. Don't know what the Huddle House is.
Huddle House?
Mm-hmm.
Huddle Houses are great.
I've heard of
Do
it.
we
but
have
I've
one
never
here?
been there.
No, not around here close. I think they've got. I think they're. I don't know. It's kind of weird because I think they're kind of all around us, but I don't. There may be a Huddle House around the Little Rock area. Now that I'm thinking about it. Could be one in Northwest Arkansas.
I noticed there was a Waffle House in the town that I may be moving to.
Yes,
There was a
and it's
Waffle House.
fantastic. The service is great. It's very clean in there. It's nice. It's not a high traffic Waffle House either. Like, that's a great Waffle House.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Clinton is sharing some MeWe links. We just lost our chat, brother. There, it's back.
Oh, you lost it
Backwoods, that's a
completely?
different type of mushroom, my brother. I'm sure if you
It went
found
away
the right
completely.
Waffle House
Yeah, but
cook,
it's
you
back.
could. They're probably got you on that. No, it's not like a Denny's. Bennett, it's not the same. Denny's is down here. Waffle House is up here. Waffle House is a waffle home, okay?
Chris saying, how many jars should I prepare for a 5-gallon run?
Waffle House.
$5 for answer. Thank you so much. Oh, got a $4.99 super chat. Thank you, brother. Appreciate that. For a 5-gallon batch, you can expect, now this is going to depend on your still and how you run your still.
Starting ABV.
And your starting ABV, if you finish all the way out, we already determined that was going to be around 8%. So you're going to depending on how deep into the tails you run before you give up, it's like there's some variables.
2 good quarts.
And if you're using, you're going to want to use pints on a
Yeah.
5-gallon run for sure. And you can expect to get about anywhere from 8 to 12 pints, depending on the variables.
2 good jars, yeah. It's kind of what I think. 8% for a starting ABV in most mashes is, and there's nothing wrong with it. It's just a little on the low side in terms of, your yield.
But it's a great first place to start because of how easy that ferment is.
Yeah.
You have no complications in an 8%.
No pH
ABV,
issues.
hardly
No,
ever, except for temperature.
Yeah, and Terry's giving you some good advice there, collecting half-pint increments, 12 jars total, and then you can make your cuts off those. What he's basically telling you to do is to make smaller cuts. That way you'll get a higher yield out of your hearts.
Well, and it's really because you will, it's what's the word? You're more heavily defining where your cuts can be.
Yeah.
So you're, it's like 480p video or a 1080p video. Like the more cuts you can make, the more defined you can get. Cuts, that's wrong. Cuts was not the right. The more sections of the still run you can have at the end, the more defined you can make your cuts.
Joe Parks says, depends.
Depends.
Put the diaper in the chat.
Where's
Put
the diaper
emoji? Put the
emoji?
diaper in there.
Get that diaper in there.
Throw that diaper emoji in there, chat. That's what it's there for. Depends.
Yeah.
Joe. Yeah.
Man, I love that Waffle House yapping we did earlier. It made me, oh man,
I'm really hungry for some breakfast.
We've
now.
gotten in the habit of doing breakfast for dinner.
I love that.
Oh my God.
It's one of our favorite things to do.
We'll go on a stint every once in a while. We're like over a month period. We'll do it like once a week.
Yep.
And then we go like 3 months and never do it again. I don't know why.
Yep.
Yeah, I can eat a breakfast any time of the day.
That was like the main few first lunches we were ever eating over here was just like biscuits and gravy with like sausage gravy.
Yeah, yeah.
Now we're on the bolognas, the dog
Yeah.
burgers.
But there's still biscuit stuff in there. Maybe tomorrow we do some biscuits and gravy up here.
We have sausage?
Yeah, I got some more. That's true, Bennett. Bennett says after running a big still, a 5-gallon is harder. It really is. The cuts is the hard part.
Yeah.
In fact, when people come in here, we don't recommend anyone get a still that's smaller than 5 gallons.
Yeah.
5-gallon is like the minimum size you really want to go. It gets so much harder.
And the bad thing is too, everybody that's online, they see the air stills and the 1 gallon this and the 2 gallon this, and it's like, they like it and they want it, but it's like there's a good way to convince them, like, hey, 2-3 gallon. What's do 5, do 5,
Do 5. Yeah.
and it's just like they're almost just like they've seen so much content on the 1 and 2 gallon stuff that they're like, no, this
And the price difference on the entry point stills is barely anything between a 3 and a 5 gallon.
nothing. I mean, it doesn't jump very much between a 5 and a 10. I mean, that does seem to be the tipping point for a lot of but the Olympics, like this Whiskey Still Pro, the 5 gallon is $392. Well, it's what we sell it for. You go look at their website. That's around about what they sell it for. And then the 10 gallon, so double the size, is $200 more.
Right.
And it's just like, I would like to convince everyone starting off to get like at least a 5 gallon.
Yeah, and they have a 3 gallon one on their website too, and it's like $300. So you're like $92 more, you get the 5 from the 3.
Yeah. Dude, we should try this. We should try this Axe and Oak Pikes Peak.
Definitely.
Oh
Let's
yeah.
give it. I'm excited to try that because they finished it in the.
You want to grab us 3 snorters over there? This is was a really cool, unexpected gift from a pretty awesome dude today.
Owner of Axe and Oak, opening up a distillery just a couple of blocks from us.
And they have a big distillery in Colorado where they're producing all of this stuff out of, and he's just opening up they're opening up a different location over here, and we're excited they're about to be our neighbors, honestly. And it was crazy. I walked in there today, and the equipment that they use. Also, you know how they heat their pots?
Steam? Yeah.
Did he tell you that already?
No, but that's typical for commercial distillers.
Okay. So he was showing me that setup, and like the giant mixers on top of all the pots, and man, it was just so cool. He had big columns for reflux. He wouldn't call them a deflagmator or anything like that, but they had like 20 sight glasses in them, big 4-inch sight glasses, and they're 15 foot tall. Oh, it's crazy! Like this, the equipment is just. Oh wow!
Windsong says, "I hop in beer. Why not?" I mean, I don't know how many times I've been in a Waffle House at 3 o'clock in the morning.
A little spillage there. Sorry about that.
Yeah,
Several times.
yeah.
Zach was probably there with me a few times.
I love I'm no stranger to a Waffle House. I'll tell you that right now, brother. I don't know if you could tell that by looking at me, but
And he told me too. I don't know if you were standing there, but this is just their bourbon mash bill.
Yeah,
aged in a.
It's finished in a Scotch barrel.
Yeah.
And I think pretty short term.
Yeah.
I forget what he said. I bet it tells us here on his little bottle.
Yeah, you can certainly. There's just a touch of the peat in there.
I was smelling on the front end.
Yeah.
Dude, are we messing up by drinking this?
What?
So this is their like very small batch stuff.
Shouldn't have opened it.
Well, it's batch 1, bottle 42 of 250.
Oh man,
Batch number 1.
We screwed up. That's all right. It's open now.
We should not have opened this. I didn't even realize. Time to beat 7 minutes and 57 seconds. What's that mean?
I have no clue. We'll have to ask him about that.
I feel bad about this now, almost. I will. It's already done. I'm going to enjoy it.
That's milk that's already spilt.
Not putting that in the infinity barrel.
Hey, Clinton's trying to make us feel better.
What's he doing? Axe and Oak used to have a moonshine version as well. It was quite good. That's what this is, Clinton.
This is the moonshine
The
version.
spirits are made to be enjoyed. You can also wax around the cork and store it proper. It'll be fine.
There you go.
We'll
There you
probably
go.
have to do that. We need to get a wax pot. Maybe I could borrow
I've been thinking
the
about
one
getting
down
one.
there at my wife's salon. There's an esthetician over there that's got a wax pot, and maybe we could. No one's looking.
Right. Hey, don't y'all go on lunch break?
That is pretty good.
Ooh,
It is not bad.
ooh. You can get a little bit of that. You know that that very peculiar Scotch.
Yep, certainly.
It's like there's a sweetness almost in the way that it kind of ends out. It's good.
Really good.
It's really good.
Clinton says wax pot equals go to Wally World, get a 1 quart pot, go to canning section, get canning wax, done.
I like that. It's a good badge you got there, brother, too, by the way. I like seeing
Nice
that.
little
That's
badge.
Pretty cool.
That is cool to see.
Bennett doesn't have one.
No. Yeah, those badges, there's like different colors, and it just denotes how long you've been a member. So, like, I think there's a
That's
badge.
the only color available right now, huh?
No, I think there's one at 1 month, there's one at 2 months, there's one at 6 months, and then there's one at 12 months. Different colors for each
That's
one.
the only badge they're going to be able to have right now because we just rolled them out tonight.
Yeah, nobody will have anything but that badge right now. Yeah.
Still learning this stuff. It's good for me to talk it out.
I had Angel's Envy for the first time the other night. Have you had that?
Yeah.
Boy,
You like it?
yeah.
Yeah.
I just sipped on it because it was a $30 glass that my friend had.
Oh, so you had a nicer Angel's Envy.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like 2 ounces was $30. So I don't know what that. I don't know what that was. I should have taken note of it.
You bought it at a restaurant?
It was at 906.
Chat stuck, by the way.
Oh, hello.
Yeah, so we went and met him over there the other night, and we were talking with him. We had a cigar, and they have his bourbon there, and well, they have a few of his different things, and man, the bourbon they make is really, really pretty impressive. I mean, very good.
Yeah.
It's almost like they do it for a living.
You might say that.
Yeah. Jason, appreciate that jar check.
Did I announce the last jar? I didn't, did I? The last jar was 112.
Calling it 3. Last number.
7.
Always hard right there. Have to look at this side when you get right there on that line.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, you're right.
Don't hear that a lot.
I don't say it a lot either.
It's not normally warranted. Are you guys going to the Sutton Jam in June? Where's that at?
I don't know. Where is the Sutton Jam?
I would like to go to multiple moonshine festivals this coming year, to be honest. And I will if we can swing it. Used to be in Newport, Tennessee. I figured it was probably pretty close to his old stomping grounds, but
Jar number 5.
I saw a video the other day. We were looking around at different. I think it was from Maggie Valley, where Popcorn's son was there, and that guy just seems like a funny little dude, you know, like
Right.
Had that same laugh, you know.
Yeah.
The one in Fairview. Oh.
Backwood says the one in Fairview wasn't that good. Well, that sucks.
Damn.
I would like to go to our Ozark Moonshine Festival this
I'll go
year.
to that
If I can
one
swing over
100%.
there. What is that? Clinton?
Yeah.
Is that where it was?
Clinton. Yeah,
Two-
we'll
2 hours?
We'll definitely have to go up there. Yeah, 2 hours.
2 hours from here? Yeah.
We need to.
What kind of liquor would you call that sugar water stuff? So I call it a sugar mash because you're adding sugar and you're using grain to steep for flavor. And at that point, you just call it, I mean, it is technically a whiskey.
See that?
It's already scrolled
Oh,
past.
okay, okay.
It was right at the top.
Yeah, I'd like to go to 2 or 3 this year. There's one that's decently close to us, and there's another one. There's supposed to be another big one down there in Louisiana, and I'd like to go to it. I think it's around the.
That one, like, it's also a hot rod show too. Is that the one am I thinking of the right one?
No, this one going down in Louisiana this year. It's the first year they've ever done it. They're not going to be a big show. It's going to be a little bit smaller, but I think it's just like right down there across the line in Louisiana. So probably another 3 hour, 4 hour. I'd like to go down there and just look around. And
Richard says there's one in Missouri.
yeah, there's one in Missouri. There's one right across the line in Louisiana. There's one in Clinton, just a couple hours north of us. I'm not aware of any in Oklahoma. And then you start going over that way, and there's like a lot of those other ones that are kind of more like a car show where there's moonshine type stuff. And but some of those they don't have stills at. I don't know what the laws are around that kind of a thing over where they're at. But dextrose is not a sugar wash. I don't believe you.
Dextrose is not a sugar wash. Who said yeah. I mean, I kind of agree. Like, dextrose is made from corn, so why wouldn't you say it's grain based?
Because there's none of the corn left in it anymore. It's just the sugar content.
I mean,
I don't know. Hey, I'm just talking out loud here. I don't know.
I mean, I classify things in this way, and there's like many debates about these classifications.
Yeah.
There's a sugar wash.
Yeah.
That's sugar and water.
Yeah.
And then sugar mash.
Yeah.
And that's sugar with grain. And then all grain mash, where you're converting starches in grain.
Yeah.
Not adding sugar.
Yeah.
That's my own classifications that I use.
Yeah. And also at a certain point, like, doesn't matter.
Yeah, exactly.
Call it cat shit for all I care. You know, like, call it whatever you want. It is what it is. I mean, it's as long as you can know, like, oh, well, this one's dextrose and this one's, granulated sugar. I mean,
yeah. I mean, I made a bourbon out of sweet potato. Still called it a bourbon.
Yeah,
it is not a bourbon.
It is not. How'd that turn out?
Awesome.
Really?
Yeah.
You still got any of it?
No.
Man.
There's not a lot of difference in dextrose and sucrose.
Dextrose, sucrose, fructose, glucose.
Glucose and dextrose are kind of
Glucose, dextrose are somewhat a little bit, but
basically the same thing.
Fructose, more on the wine side of things, fruit-based sugars. This is kind of yapping. I really get into it.
Yeah. Exactly, Bennett. Moonshine. Call it what you want and be happy to call it that. That's how I feel about it.
Yeah.
Well, inspector's in the house. What's up?
I find it. Christy Palmer said, how about this? Where do you buy dextrose in the grocery store? I find it near the something with sugar, just saying.
Yeah, I mean, I've only ever seen dextrose in the grocery store in like a container about this big.
Really?
And so like, and it's expensive to begin with. And if you're going to buy it in that tiny quality, it's going to get really expensive if you're trying to make some shine.
Yeah. Chris 7812. This might sound like a super rookie question, but I really don't know. Do different grains dictate whether or not it is a, say, vodka, rum, or whiskey.
No. If it's a grain, it's a whiskey. Vodka is determined by the fact that it is a neutral spirit and can be made with just about anything, but it's distilled at 190 proof. And that's what makes it a vodka. A rum is something that is made with any cane sugar derivative. So those are the classifications for the three that you just listed. But as far as grains, anytime you're using a grain, it's a whiskey. Now you can mix grains with fruit. There's not a classification for that, but colloquially we call that a mountain brandy. If you're mixing fruit and grain.
Well, Inspector, what's up, brother? Richard likes using cane sugar. Can't say I blame him.
I use regular old table sugar for a lot of stuff. Comes out fine. I mean, I do like all grain stuff better, but
yeah.
And it could be too, like, all the content on my channel is aimed at beginners, and for beginners, table sugar just makes everything easy.
Yeah.
Yep. Richard says, or a split brandy, correct? Talking about the mountain brandy, using brandy and grains.
Now, I will say, take this for whatever you want. One of the best runs of wine I've ever made happened to be a mixture, and I'm not saying it's because of this, it happened to be a mixture between dextrose and granulated sugar.
Combination. I remember that one.
Maybe it was going to be that way if I just only used granulated sugar. I don't know. I'd like to think in some aspects that, like, dextrose is so much finer, it's more like a powder. And so maybe the way that it breaks down possibly a little faster or more evenly, I don't know. It is different. I mean, the shape of it is different. And surely it breaks down a little different. And but I will say a blend of granulated sugar and dextrose was like actually a pretty thick little, it worked out well.
Yeah, it was really good.
I'd have to make multiple runs to figure out whether or not that was really a difference maker. Maybe it was going to be good no matter what kind of sugar I used. I don't know.
Winsong says, my fave is a mountain brandy. She made it real good. The last one she made was really good. She did a blueberry oat mountain brandy. Turned out really good. In fact, we held a gallon to the side just to let it become wine because it was tasting so good just as a ferment.
Really?
And then something happened. I don't think it didn't turn out. I don't know what happened, but I think it got messed up somehow.
Jason asked a question here that I wanted to touch on because it's something that comes up a little bit. We just talked about it recently. Cy, did you ever intentionally introduce a lacto infection for a whiskey? I did it, and it came out awesome.
So when you say intentionally introduce...
should I jar cam them back there?
No, that's not a lacto. I don't think that's a lacto.
What?
Yeah. I don't think so. I have never intentionally introduced one because I've never needed to. Around here, all you got to do is open ferment, and you can get one pretty easily. And I have done that, and it comes out great. I don't mind the lacto infection at all.
Allegedly smoother. Yeah.
Creamy. It has a creaminess.
Yeah.
That's how I describe it.
That's gross, but at the same time, it's like, it is what it is. Like,
right.
Finished product's better. And
Terry says 100% fire tonight's live. Thank you, brother.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
High compliment from the old Terry Baldwin, an OG. I think he's been in here damn near every week.
Yeah, I think so.
What a dude. Dextrose had Paul. I don't know if you've got your package yet. Hope you have. If not, you should be getting the next day or two. Paul McKinley says dextrose has 0.75 sweetness of sugar. Interesting.
That's a good tip.
I don't even know how they measure that. What is that? It's like you know how there's viscosity for things that pour more fluid.
Scoville units.
Scoville for Tabasco. Let's get a. How do they measure sweetness by a like in a lab setting?
Oh wow, here we go.
Give me that.
Degrees Brix.
Okay,
oh, so it's just
Brix.
specific gravity then.
Oh, is that all it is?
Yeah.
That was new for me. You guys know this stuff. That was new for me.
You said Brix, and I was like, oh, damn it.
Degrees Brix. Scale defines the sugar content of an aqueous solution and is measured in degrees
1 gram.
So
grams of solution.
look up the Brix of table sugar, regular table sugar, and dextrose. Let's compare them. I think dextrose's gravity is 35, if I'm not mistaken.
While he's looking that up, Robert Leach asks, can you describe what backset is?
Backset is when we're done with this run, what's left in that still is the backset.
Potentially all the alcohol's been run out of it, or maybe there's still a certain amount of alcohol content in it, but it is the contents of your pot post your run.
Yeah.
To whatever degree it may contain alcohol or not, that's what the
what was
backset
it? Table sugar?
Table sugar, yeah. What? Yep. Clinton's all over it in there.
Mm-hmm.
Jason said on that, I guess back on the lactose thing, he said he kept stirring it every day until it started to smell like pineapple. Throw some awesome fruity notes in the final product.
Nice.
You guys read that?
100 Brix, 100 degrees Brix, 100% sugar. So 1 Brix is 1 gram of sugar and 100 grams of solution. 10 Brix is 10 grams and 100 grams of solution.
I've got to learn Brix. That's all that means nothing to me.
It doesn't mean anything.
Everything
to
is
me.
in specific gravity to me.
Okay. Yeah, well, it certainly doesn't mean anything to me, but I see a correlation here in tens. That's it. I can't say anything else.
Well, and you can specifically by weight back sweeten, or not, sorry, use the wrong word there. You can specifically by weight know exactly how many pounds, ounces, grams of sugar to add to a fermentation to achieve a certain amount of outcome if you are in a situation where you've got to on the back end calculate your sugar content. Like, so if something happens and you lost your gravity or you didn't get it, and you know what you've added in there at certain points, you know, you use Brix to kind of work back that way. So it is a useful tool. It is one we don't often use because we're pretty used to.
Yeah, because Brix is correlated to weight also.
Yeah, exactly. And so if you're not going by volume, your volume is a factor because you've got to know that. But it can get pretty in depth there. Brix is just another tool in your tool belt if you can really master it and learn it that can help you out in certain oddball situations. A lot of the wine, I've got a winemaking buddy who's really scientific about the whole thing, and he gets into it a little bit here and there. He gave me like a 20-page little everything you need to know about Brix, and
read the whole thing, didn't you?
Oh, wow. Come on. I swore when I left Little Rock that I would not devote very much time to reading. And I've been pretty good on that promise. I've been pretty good on that.
Stuck by it
pretty good.
I do less and less reading every year.
Me too.
Yeah, I went to a late effort there in reading and just swore like I'll never read this much again, and I just really have not.
I used to read a lot of fiction. I'm a big fiction fan. And then just actually when I started doing YouTube and all of that, just didn't have time.
Yeah.
And I was reading so much technical stuff, trying to figure out all the learning curves. Like that's all the reading I do now is just educational type reading.
Yeah.
And I do less and less of that because of ChatGPT. Like,
absolutely.
I'm not sure I need to buy another book anymore.
Right. Certainly not for technical things.
How is it? Pretty stout?
Surprisingly good.
Yeah.
I really took a bite of that thinking This is not going to be good.
Yeah.
There's alcohol in it, though, for sure.
Not at all of what I expected.
Right?
Yeah, that's not bad at all. Usually the fruit soaks up so much that it's just like, oh.
Well, we didn't leave it a lot of time to sit on there.
That's right. It hadn't been there long. That's true.
We got through that jar pretty quick. Well, and we culled a pint out of there for the Adam to take home. And I don't know. Maybe we didn't hammer it as hard as those. That said, there's some at my house that I've absolutely been abusing.
We also forgot, like last week, we played a little joke on the chat. Went to intermission and during
never talked about it again.
Oh, yeah.
During intermission, we poured a bunch off just to see if anyone would notice, and came back and never
one said anything.
Oh yeah, we didn't drink. You know,
I think we have one person said, you guys
Golly,
about finished that off.
That was it.
There was
one person that was like,
and we really just kind of poured it into another jar to make it look like we had drank about it.
Came back. Weld Inspector sent a question. Hey, what was Weld Inspector's previous comment? Richard, come get it, brother.
Where? Well,
Matt Perry
Inspector?
says Brix is the same as Celius to me.
Well, Inspector said question.
Brix is definitely
Let's
easier
go
to spell.
back.
Yeah, it's true. You hear what you did there?
Yeah.
Jason said, I got to admit, I look forward to this live every week. Y'all are awesome. Well, brother, it's kind of a two-way street there, man. We look forward to hanging out with you guys, and I appreciate that you're enjoying it, man.
Has anyone ever made a spirit using sorghum? That was Well Inspector's question.
I have not. Lots of people have.
I could see
Yeah,
that.
it's very very popular.
Richard needs another good palate. Come on, Bubba. I think we got two
I
runs.
told him, I said, Richard, come get one.
Oh,
Can Jeffrey ask, can't you collect the lacto and propagate it and use it in a future mash? I have no
Yes.
doubt that you could. I've never
You
done
absolutely
that, though.
can.
Have you? Have you ever
I've never
collected lacto?
intentionally done it, but I've seen so many people do it, and it's apparently very easy. Just get a jar of it, fill
Put
it
some
up,
water and
put it in a
yeah.
put it in a fridge, and then dump it in a
I mean, think about it. You unintentionally get it over in your mashes every once in a while. Like if you're intentionally trying to introduce it to your mash, like
It's not hard.
yeah. Richard said, I'm reading an Alan Bishop Distiller's Almanac right now. It's very informative.
Yeah. Alan Bishop, he's the man. I've got one of his other books. First, it's actually volume 1 to the book that you're reading. It's like the prequel to the book you're reading.
Clinton, don't know how far you are from us, but it is not expensive here. There is a guy down the road, a mutual friend of Adam and I's, who they grow sorghum by the acre, probably times a couple hundred acres a year. So maybe it is more popular in certain areas of the world, but
Yeah.
I think you can also use yogurt cultures to do something similar.
I've never done that.
Lucky D said, I have an infection, just not one you want to put into a mash. Brother, you get a doctor to look at that for you. Okay? I'm going to be thinking about you. Maybe get some ointments.
We're praying.
Get some ointments.
Glenn says in southern Colorado, been looking at ordering some.
Maybe sorghum is one of those things we should try to source. And
I bet we could get it from the same people we're getting all the heirloom corn from. I bet they've got it.
yeah.
Bennett says, see, I didn't say it.
Yeah, thanks for hanging back and letting someone else take one of those, brother. Joe DeMario said, all malted grain has lacto on it. We use it to sour beers intentionally, especially for the barrel-aged sours. Oh, that's interesting.
Nice.
Pretty cool.
Sorghum is interesting because sorghum is the squeezins and milo is the grain of the same plant. I didn't know that.
Milo is the grain of the same plant. Well, there definitely is just Milo, though.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe I have, when I've seen seeded out like Milo plants, maybe that is just all sorghum is. I don't know. We planted, there's a place about 45 minutes of here where the Game and Fish, they go in and plant it, and they do it with a lot of Milo. I never heard any of them call it sorghum, but
Fester All Day says Milo and sorghum are just different common names.
Milo is a type of sorghum. Okay, I'm with you. It's like the Piment, Melomel, Mead, Sizer type classification.
Sorghum is a coarse upright.
Sorghum is also called Milo. There's a major feed grain for quail. Love it.
Oh wow!
If y'all didn't know that.
Oh wow!
Lots of sorghum information.
Boy, they got everything you ever needed to know about sorghum.
Sorghum reading. Yeah, quail love it. Game birds love it. Cattle love it, apparently. Oh, well, that's why the guy down the road grows so much sorghum. He's got a feed lot.
Oh, they love it. Yeah, they eat
I remember when we, as a kid, we'd go up pheasant hunting in Kansas, and it was Milo fields. So all over the place.
What's beef prices doing these days, Adam?
Beef prices.
Are you good? I thought you would just know off the top.
I don't know. I haven't talked to Dad in a couple days, so I don't know where we're at. I don't know. We haven't talked cows in a week or two. Yeah.
Talk a little cattle. Yeah. Talk a little cattle with them. Get back with us next week on that. We'll have a cattle segment.
Cattle report.
Yeah, cattle report.
This week's cattle prices.
Oh, geez.
Beef freighter out of Turkey crashed into the Persian Gulf. Prices went up.
Daniel says they're hiring giraffe nuts.
Hiring giraffe nuts right now. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, they'll get us sorted out. Yeah. Millet. Yeah. Millet, Milo. Daniel's poultry guy. He's a brooder.
Yeah.
He's probably up with it on all the commodities.
He's got a couple of chickens around his place.
Yeah, I think he's got more than a couple.
Yeah.
Way it sounded like. He definitely had enough real estate for a couple. Chris7812 asks, if you're 3 weeks into a mash and you unexpectedly get worms, can you still run the mash? Even though the worms have nothing to do with the mash, will it reverse your case of worms?
I think you could absolutely still run your mash with a case of the worms.
What's he talking about? He's got worms? You got worms, brother? Man, you got to go see a medical professional about that kind of a question. I don't know that I could.
Pachuga worm run. Pachuga worm run.
What you can do is you can put some sticky tape in your crack at night, and when they come out, they'll grab hold of that, and they can't go back in.
That's right.
Yeah.
Get them stuck.
I sold 6 calves for $285 a pound at 525 pounds. Yeah, Bennett, there was a guy just down the road from me that I'm buddies with, and he told me he was selling 600 pounders for like $2,000. And I was like, damn. That adds up. That's probably about the same price as what you're describing there.
There he says, Cyrus, we now need a what the emoji. I think that's absolutely true. I will actually work on that tomorrow.
Vinegar eels. This is getting a little wild here.
Big pimpin'. Bennett is big pimpin'.
Yes, sir. Big money. Hollywood.
It is 7:16, and our Adam needs to bounce a little early tonight.
He's got big things going on.
Big education stuff happening tomorrow, and so I think when this jar behind us is ready to pull off, we'll call it after that.
Yeah. I think once this one gets up there to the top, we'll proof it out and call it for the night. But Adam has so if you guys might not know this about Adam, he is touring with the Down Under Male Dancer collective, and they got a big tour coming up, and so he's got to get ready for that. But
study that. Study the routine.
I mean,
you got like an organic chemistry.
Honestly, he's an understudy right now.
Yeah. He's working on it. He's coming up.
Yeah. I'll be studying the differences in fructose and dextrose.
Kidding, I made that up.
Oh, okay.
It was the only.
I was like, how on brand?
It was the only like organic relevant thing that we've talked about tonight, other than methanol.
Ben is a French model. If you didn't know it,
I would. If I had to guess what kind of model he was, I would have guessed French.
Yeah.
It's pretty obvious when you look at him. Winsong says, male dancers, good medicine.
She's getting a little stirred up.
Yeah.
You can keep your guard up when you walk through the door tonight going home. Hey, back off me, woman.
Where'd you get all those ones?
Let me get my shoes off first, at least. Jesus. Oh.
A giraffe walks into a bar and says, the eyeball on me. I'm an awesome model. The before picture.
Here's the one thing I don't like about beer. It's not much. Well, okay, so when we make a run, the next day we can come in, taste it, see where we're at.
Mm-hmm.
You make a beer, and it's like you gotta you're done with it, right? Like you're done with it. It's done. You're not doing anything else to it. It's in these bottles, and then you gotta sit around for another couple weeks and wait on it.
Yeah.
Sucks.
2 weeks will fly by, Bubba. You got so much work to do in 2 weeks.
There's other stuff to drink.
You're gonna forget about it.
Yeah, and I will, but in the time when you're doing it right in front of you, it's like, yeah, this sucks. Dude, Daniel, Bennett, man, I appreciate that, brother. I mean, I know you watch a lot of stuff, and I know we joke around a lot in here too with you. But man, I appreciate that.
I think he means that one.
I think he does. Yeah, I think he does. I drink it as he does. Top 10 at best. Oh shit.
Oh.
It's like the Skipper and the Gilligan. Which one are you? I've got to be Gilligan, right? I mean, I know that's not the one that you would pick, but
you got to get you a Gilligan hat.
I mean, I don't think he is. What was the girl on there?
You're complaining about 2 weeks for beer. I just had a rye whiskey turn 4 years. And
I don't know. That's what's the thing about the Infinity Barrel that I kind of look forward to is you add to it and add to it and add to it for like years.
Right.
Well, I don't know. Months, possibly.
Years.
How many gallons is that?
53.
53 gallons.
53. Dude, it'll take us forever to, because I'm not dumping every batch into that just to get full.
No.
Portions of every batch.
Well, I'm gonna do. First time I've talked about this. I'm gonna do dueling stills for 10,000 followers on TikTok. I'm still pretty small time in the grand scheme of things, but each milestone I kind of want to celebrate, and I want to, when I hit 10,000 followers on TikTok, I want to run 2 or 3 stills for, I haven't decided yet if it's going to be 12 or a full 24 hours. But I want to commit to, a pretty good, show and just see what happens and have some drinks and run some stills and do it for very many hours.
I think you should do it for like 24 hours. so that I can be here when you start the live. I can go home, sleep,
And
come
be
back,
here when I
and
finish
show
it
up,
out.
and you're still live.
I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it in a place of business. Is the only concern that I have is like what's gonna, because I'm going to drink the whole time,
Oh,
and so it's like, can we do that in a place where potentially I've got to be in view of anyone just that I don't know?
right.
I don't know. So
Well, you can lock yourself in.
I've still got, I'm like 1,400 followers away from even coming into that issue. So I'll think about it and just whatever. I don't know. I may have to do it from my garage so that I don't get in trouble or like freak somebody out. I don't know what's going to happen during that thing. So,
Right. Yeah, Richard, this is the Infinity Barrel is just going to be a portion of all our runs, no matter what they are. Just get put in that barrel. So it's just a mishmash of everything. We'll keep track of everything that went into the barrel. And then, we'll see what it tastes like in a few years.
yeah. Daniel Stevens says 10,000. I remember 10,000. Yeah, dude, we're not all like big time Hollywood. Like, you're up, dude. Help. I don't know.
Joe Parks is letting you know that Mary Ann was the gal on Gilligan's Island.
Mary Ann. And then she follows that up and says, "Do Snow Angels." So,
Yeah.
Thanks, Joe. Preach.
Jason says, Cyrus, get everyone to bring a jar to your Shine event to put in a barrel. That's a pretty slick idea.
Well, that would be cool.
Yeah.
Well, they probably just due to the alcohol board, alcohol control board, like you probably have to. We'd have to think about that in terms of how we do it. We could probably be a situation where we would
be able to do it. We would be able to do it, but we'd have to do it sideways because,
we'd have to work out a system, or maybe like a deposit up at the front where you come in and you deposit it, and then we just bring it in here. I don't know.
Like there will be, we had to get a license for this event, so.
Well, and maybe we could drop it off outside the event up there, and then give them something that lets us know when they come in here, like, hey, I dropped something off at the front, and then they can sign the barrel. And
yeah, that's a pretty good idea, right?
That would be cool.
That would be cool. Everybody who brings something signs.
I don't know.
Barrel.
Do we trust everyone? Like, basically, we have 500 strangers that are
going to be dumping stuff in our barrel.
Whatever. Maybe we open them and give them a little.
There's some amount of risk there.
Yeah, there's not. The risk isn't zero. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
First, he asked, do you have to make a bigger batch for a base to get it at least half full? So I asked that. There was a question. That's honestly something I didn't know until 20 minutes ago. And I asked the expert, the guy that dropped us off the barrel and brought it over here for us. And he recommended that we start with about 5-ish gallons. So that we had some, I think as long as you have some fluid in the bottom, the way the wood is, that it kind of will soak it up through as long as it's in contact with about every piece of wood, I think.
Well, we'll take this barrel outside. Once we got to swell it up with 4 or 5 gallons. We'll take it out. We'll just fill it with water.
Yeah.
Let it swell up, dump it out, and then put our 5-ish gallons that we have in it.
Yeah. Clinton said, share the movie links as well, as it's where we all hang out between live streams. All we talk about is still-in recipes. Yeah, we'll get Adam to throw that Moonshine for Beginners MeWe group link in there.
Also, looking at Winsong's comment, maybe we've missed some questions by Robert Leach.
Let's see.
Robert Leach.
Makes me think of Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous.
Bennett, if you buy a VIP ticket for Shine On festivals, I will give you one of these barrels.
Robert Leach says at 7:20,
I'll commit to that.
can we discuss all brand, preferably Raisin Bran and Oats recipes?
So, the breakfast cereal bourbon had a Raisin Bran in it. It was like 1/3 Raisin Bran to 2/3 cornflake.
I think it does something pretty nice to it too.
I mean, it turned out good.
Yeah.
So it was the first time I had ever used Raisin Bran, and I liked it. And I think every recipe I've ever put oats in, I liked. So I like oats.
Yeah. We only have there's one kit on Still in the Clear that has oats in it, right?
Yeah, the Beginner Bourbon. It's actually this one right here that we're running.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has oats in it.
Yeah.
Colton Sharp asks, do you clear your mash and let it settle a day or two before you run it, or do you transfer it from the fermenter straight into the pot and run it? So
depends on. Anyone's got a diaper? Anyone got a diaper?
It depends. Like if I'm doing, like for example, we got a 50-gallon one. We'll siphon right off the top after it clears up and never even get into the grain.
It'll be 8, 9, 10 inches of grain in the bottom of it.
Yeah, and if we're doing like a 7-gallon batch, and we'll siphon off of it, and it'll have sediment in it, and then we'll let that sit 24 hours, and then pour into the still from the bucket, and trying to leave the sediment in the bottom of the bucket when we pour. It's pretty simple to do, and if you're using gas, you have a lot more flexibility than if you're using an electric element, because if you're using an electric element and you have a lot of sediment in there, it's going to scorch. But for, I don't know, whatever reason, if you're using propane, it's much less likely. Robert, I think oats adds a sort of, I don't know how to describe it, maybe a butteriness, creaminess to it that I like. Oh, Clinton just said it gives a creamy mouthfeel to it. Yeah. Paul McKinley says breakfast cereal bourbon is excellent. Yeah, that's right. You've made more than one batch on it, haven't you? If I'm not mistaken. Oh, a free thinker. So I just got some flaked barley. Can you give me a recipe that has corn in it, as well as flaked barley and maybe some rye for a 5-gallon still? So if you're using flaked, I assume you're not going to be doing any conversions, because there is no diastatic power in flaked grains. So a good, let's see, what was it? Corn, flaked barley, and maybe some rye. So there's a good bourbon recipe in there. You could do 75. You could do, let's do this: 60% corn, 30% flaked barley, and 10% rye. That's a nice little bourbon recipe right there. Let's see. Jeffrey says shiners don't let alcohol boards get in the way. So
not as tailsy as I would have assumed on the last jar. That's potentially a
keeper.
Potentially a back set. No, I don't know. That's a keeper, but it's a. I think it's, and I could be wrong, but may still be plenty of alcohol left in that.
Then it says glycerin gives mouthfeel too.
This is over.
I've never used it. I don't know. The Park says oats are awesome.
It was gonna fall off
Colton
after that
says,
one.
thanks. You're welcome.
100 on the damn dot.
100 on the dot for the last jar. No
Sorry about
guessing.
that, guys. Sorry.
No guessing.
Jason got 100. I don't know.
Nailed it right off the bat.
Sorry about that. I forgot we were still kind of guessing around.
Yes, Fester All Day says your view of the comments is on our screens. So my comments are overlaying and making it hard to read. So they're seeing our I don't know.
What do you
I'm
mean
hearing
by
it.
that, Fester, all day?
What do you mean by that, brother?
What do you mean by that?
I think I'm also hearing an echo from
You're
over
here.
there.
It's that
I've got
mic
this
over
cranked
there.
way up. Yep. Your view of the comments is on our screen.
Chart number
That is
6.
true. So my comments are overlaying. You know,
I can
I
see
wonder if it's because their comments are on the right side of the screen.
Daniel Stevens just
Maybe
removed
we
your
have to move that
comment.
to the left.
What did he say? He just removed his comment. It just Bennett said something. I guess it was a little out of pocket. He said something probably like put 200 proof in the pot and just redistill it or something like that. Sounds like.
Okay, so Fester, so on the YouTube then, are you saying
When I turn my comments on, it covers yours.
it's like one is overlaying the other, so like YouTube's comments are overlaying our comments?
Oh, yeah. It just flows out of the. Well, I didn't think about
I mean,
that.
unless you're going to type something, you can just read the comments on the screen.
Yeah.
That's kind of the idea with them, is so that everyone across all platforms can read the same set of comments.
YouTube,
and they're
TikTok,
on the
Facebook,
screen.
they all get a view
So
of what
unless you're
everyone's
going
saying.
to type something, I would just swipe them away. And that way you can keep up with the chat, and then you can type in whenever you want to.
Say anything.
Who is Daniel Stevens? Is that Bennett?
It's Bennett.
That's Bennett, yeah.
Okay.
Not to dox him. I mean, I don't think he.
I mean, clearly he doesn't
It's his
care.
picture. It's literally his picture in his thing. So it's kind of on him. Well, guys, I think that we are going to go ahead and wrap it up for the night. It's been another awesome week hanging out with everybody. I'm glad we got to make some beer with you, run a little bourbon back here, and it was great hanging out and yapping and seeing you guys for another week. Let us know in the comments over on his channel and my channel. What do you guys want to see us run next week? Do you want to see us do something a little different? Maybe not even distilling. Just comment and let us know what should we be doing for next week.
And if you are now a channel member, either through signing up or being gifted a channel membership, check out the community tab on YouTube. I've already put a couple of posts up there. There's a poll there. And I did a shorts video this morning for members only. I'm going to try to do a short video every morning, unless I forget about it. But I'm going to try and do a short video every morning, just kind of a behind the scenes. Sometimes it'll just be me. Sometimes it'll be both of us. And I'm going to start trying to do some extra content for those of you that are at the bootlegger level.
Yeah. So kind of crazy. First week we rolled that out. Appreciate everyone kind of gifting those to people, and that's stuff
thanks
that
for the
I'm
boost,
still learning about it. Yeah, I appreciate that, and we will be back with you guys next week.
See you on the next one.
Later, guys.